Hello to you all, I hope you are well. When thinking about harvests this year and celebrating all the produce that have been lovingly grown for us by the farmers, my mind started to wander to the produce that we see around us in a more wild way. What I'm talking about is the trees and specifically the oak tree. This photo I took when I was on a walk with my dog, and for the first time in a long time, I truly marvelled over this tiny seed ending up to becoming a beautiful, magnificent tree. I saw so many varied seeds on the ground fighting for a position to get growing. And you could see the tree's determination in the amount of seeds that are laying on the ground to produce other trees like themselves. I have to say there were far more acorns on the ground than the other varieties. And then I began to see that these tiny seeds were going to become an amazing, true, beautiful version of themselves. And that really was a light bulb moment for me. Question today I want to set is, what do we harvest to become a bigger, bolder and beautiful version of ourselves? A bit of a background on the oak tree. In the Celtic way of thinking, it is known as the tree of life. The oak is known for its strength and power. And the Hebrew name for oak has been derived from the word providence, which means divine guidance. As we set our minds to ponder about this, let's take a moment to look at these beautiful trees and to allow ourselves to dwell over the question set earlier. What do we harvest to become a bigger, bolder and more beautiful version of ourselves? I love the stature of the oak tree, from the roots and their sturdiness, to the trunk where the strength you see is in the depth of it. You can see the grooves and the crevices up and down the trunk like wrinkles. But I like that because it tells the story of that tree weathering many storms. To the branches that spread out, creating a regal canopy for all to enjoy, and the leaves creating that unique cover. And finally to the acorns of differing colours, preparing themselves to germinate and grow to provide a new legacy. Through this harvest time, I sense particularly this year we need to remind ourselves that it is not just the physical produce that we need to be thankful for, but for ourselves too. As like the mighty oak, we have had to grow stronger, mature and establish a root system to keep us from swaying too much in this COVID storm. But now is the time to plant ourselves into the love of God, to see the flourishing of who we can truly be and who we truly are. To see that what we can produce is kindness, gentleness, all the fruits of the Spirit that we looked at earlier on in the year. Some of us may feel that we're at the acorn stage, but even that is a hard nut to crack. And if we establish ourselves in God's love, and if we allow Him to harvest us and let our seeds grow in the knowledge and care of God, then we too can be like that mighty oak, strong, powerful and enduring. And then we can be, as it says in the final part of verse 3 of our Bible reading, it says this: they, or we, will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of His splendour. How amazing that would be. Happy harvest time, everyone. And may you continue to grow and sow those seeds that the Spirit has given you to sow. And may you always remind yourselves that you are truly oaks of righteousness.